Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. So where we left off last time, we set up a few things up here. We have our purifying factory, elite version, elite crushing factory, and our elite enriching factory. And of course we have our chest full of our yummy ores that we need to start getting processed. Well, I have started laying a bit of the groundwork for that, so let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we are going to need to get oxygen, because that purification chamber needs oxygen in order to, perform its operation. Well, how do we get that? Well, we get oxygen by separating water. By separating water. Wow, I forgot where I was going there. So by separating water, we get our oxygen, because as most of you know, water is made up of H2O. That's 2 hydrogen per 1 molecule of oxygen, and that's where we get our oxygen from. For that, we are going to need the electrolytic separator. And we're going to want to get about 6 of these to keep up with this operation. So that's going to require some iron, some redstone, some enriched alloy, and one of these electrolytic cores. Well, the electrolytic core is really easy. It's just some enriched alloy, 2 osmium dust, 1 iron dust, grit, whatever, something pulverized iron, and the same thing for gold. Well, I have already gone through and made up all of these. So, next we need to put it all together to get our electrolytic separators. Well, I'm sorry, I did not make these. We're going to need all of these. And that's a few more than I was expecting to get. That's okay, I'm sure we will use them in the future. So we will put those away. And now let us get our 6 electrolytic separators if we can, if we didn't use up all of our pulverized material. 4, 5, and 6. Excellent. Alrighty. Now, the thing is that we only need the oxygen. We don't need the hydrogen. Well, we could just, set one of these up. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. Let's grab some transfer pipe. Made a little bit extra of this off camera as well. And where I want to set these up is going to be right back here along this back wall. I think that's going to be the best place for them at this point in time. So let's go ahead and grab our electrolytic separators, and we will set them out one away from the wall. And we will put 1 space in between. So there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so as you can see, they have a blue side and they have a red side. If you open up, they have an interface. You've got the input over here on the left, what they are doing, and the output, or the, these are the outputs, I'm sorry, here in the center. And then you have your RF here. Now these machines can be upgraded as well with speed upgrades, energy upgrades, so that, they don't draw as much power and they work a little bit faster. So for this, we are going to actually punch a hole in our floor right here. Let's go all the way down to there. And we'll punch a hole there. And let's punch a hole right there, let's say. Oh, didn't want to punch 2. That's 1 too many. So there we go, and we'll go down into Ender Mini form. And we will see that we're right outside of our base here. Perfect. So from here we're going to run our transfer pipe. We want to go all the way up to the top one. And we'll run it all the way down. And same with this one here, all the way down, and then we can bring these over and connect them up just like that, and we will run it out this hole right here. Come on, there we go, And then we will move that torch out a little bit because it's going to get in our way. Let's just run this transfer pipe all the way over. Move that out of the way. Just keeping right along the seam of our base here, and in fact, we'll go ahead and we'll drop it down one just so it looks fairly decent here. And there we go, that is where we are headed, right down there. We'll bring that around, and we'll just come straight down like this, and connect up just like that. And also what we're going to do is, in previous episodes, we've given these a whack with a wrench. All this is going to do is tell it that, it can go, the fluid can only go one way. So that's what we're doing now. The triple lines there, that means that it will come from the right and only go to the left. And we want it to go up. There we go. We will just continue to give these a few whacks here. Set all these up. Because this way the transfer node doesn't, search the entire pipe for where to put stuff. It'll say, okay, I can only go this way down this pipe. And that's what it does. It travels the length of the pipe, says, oh, you want me to put the stuff in here. If we were not doing this, it would, even on the tanks that we have set up over there in our farm, it would go down one pipe and say, oh, okay, well, I have this place where I can put water or whatever we're pumping. And it would put it there, and then it'll start over. And, it may end up going to the same place. Or if it runs into a junction, it, says, well, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. And it just kind of bottlenecks there. This way we can regulate it more, and we can tell it, look, we only want you going this way. I know it's a bit confusing. The transfer pipes are a bit on the confusing side at times. This is just a habit that I've always gotten into, is to always tell the water or whatever I'm pumping exactly where I want it to go, so I don't have to worry about it trying to backfeed or anything like that, or taking a direction or a turn that I don't want it to take, so that it doesn't get to where I want it. And see right there, that's why it's always good to double check, because it was only going one direction. And there we go, we're going to have to set that up like that, so it knows to only come this way, but then it has a choice of which way it can go. And then we can set these up to go up. Come on. Oh, that's why. There we go. And just like that. So now it will follow the line and come up here, and these all should now have water in them. Yes, cool. Alrighty, so the next step is going to be to get power. Of course. So let's dig another hole, say right here. We can come over here and go up there. There we go. And the power, we are going to want to run right along this line right here. Let's go ahead and pop a hole. And we will now try and drop down into the hole. There we go. And there's our hole. Let's just go ahead and run this completely underneath the floor here. So that we can get to our machines, which that should be close. Let's take a look here and see just how close we are. Well, we weren't as close as I thought. Oh, one away. We're going to have several machines here, so we'll clear out all of that space. We'll go ahead and leave this open for now, and let's take a look where we are. Oh, we are right here by our coke oven. You know what? That is not a bad place to be. Because, remember, we have this power line running back here, and all of this should be tied into the reactor. Which it looks like we changed our mind and did not. Oh no, we didn't. It's all hooked up down here to the reactor. So, let's see here. Yeah, we still have... Oh, that's right. That's the power coming in from our water wheels and whatnot. Sorry guys, it's taken me a minute to remember what all we have set up and how we have it set up. That was the reactor line right there that we just dropped past. Yes, it is. Would you stop that? Fly. Jeez. Yep, there's the reactor line. Okay, and that is all hooked up here. That's cool. So that means that we can come up here, and if we come across here, we got our coke oven there. How do we want to do this? There's the ceiling there. Well, that's not exactly what we wanted to do. But we can do something along these lines here. So we'll change that back to stone in a moment. And let us go ahead and place that. So we can run here. We can run here. And we can run there and go up. And hey, look at that. And wouldn't you know, that's exactly where we want to be. How about that? So let's go ahead and replace our factory block there. And we can come down here and just punch a quick hole right here. There we go. Just so we can get in and out a little bit easier. Let's grab our conduits. So we come up here now, and we can run our conduits right up here. All the way across. And up here. Let's go ahead and replace this while we're here, so we don't forget about it. We can run that up there. We can run these straight across like that. And then drop it down. And bring these all the way across. Double check our line, made sure we didn't miss any spots, which looks like we missed one out of that run. That's not bad. So we'll come over here, and then we will bring it over and start bringing it up. go, and now they are getting power. Come on, work with me here. There we go. And as we can see, they are full of water, they are full of power, and they are sitting idle. Well, they were sitting idle. Took a moment to tick on. As you can see, we are getting roughly twice as much hydrogen as we are oxygen. Well, again, as we discussed earlier, that's because the molecular makeup of water is H2O, which means that there is twice as much hydrogen as there is oxygen. Well, we could always tell it to dump the hydrogen. So as we can see, the hydrogen is going down while the oxygen continues to go up. That's because it's just steaming it off into the air. Well, we don't want that. We could tell it to dump excess, which means once this tank gets full, it will start just releasing it into the air. That'll work for now. But what if there was a way that we could recapture this and use it for something? Well, there is. So let's head back down here. And for this, we are going to need a couple brand new machines. And they are called... where did they go? Right there. The gas burning generator. So the gas burning generator requires two steel casings apiece, a couple of enriched alloy, a couple of osmium ingots, and more of the electrolytic cores. Well, let's see how many we can get from what we already have in here. 1, 2, 3 of them. Let's make it a nice round number, and let's grab one more, if we can. Yeah, we sure can. And there we go. Now we've got 4 of them. 4 of the gas burning generators. What we're going to do with these is we're going to come back up here. And let's say right over here in this corner where we've already punched the hole. Hey, it's like I planned it or something. And we are going to put these up just like so. Okay, cool. So what do these do? Well, exactly what it says. They take gas, they burn it, and they generate something. What do they generate? Power. So now we have a way to help supplement the power loss from those electrolytic separators. Well, we've used pipes for everything so far. We've used pipes for... Hello, Minecraft. Randomly decided to freeze up on me. There we go. We've used pipes for, or conduits rather, for electricity. We've used conduits for redstone. We've used them for fluids. We can even use them for applied energistics. However, they used to at one point have a conduit that would become available if mechanism was installed, and it would carry gases. That no longer seems to be the case, unfortunately. So we are going to have to use the mechanism mechanics in order to move the gas, which is going to require the pressurized tubes. As we can see, if we hold shift, it's capable of transferring gases via mechanism. And, we have taken a look at these before. The pressurized tube is just a couple of pieces of steel and some sort of glass. You get 8 of them, but that's not going to move enough. It only holds 256 millibuckets per tick with a pump rate of 64 millibuckets per tick. We want something that's going to do a lot more. Well, if we moved up to the advanced, that would hold 1024 millibuckets per tick, or basically 1 bucket per tick with a little left over. And it will transfer roughly 1/4 of a bucket per tick. That's not bad, that's getting better. If we step up to the elite, that'll hold almost 5 buckets, a little over 4 buckets, and it will transfer about 1 bucket per tick. That's 20 buckets per second. That's not too bad. But if we're going to do it, we might as well go for the gusto and have one that will transfer just over 16 buckets per tick that it can hold in the pressurization of the tube, and it can pump at a little over 4 buckets per tick. That is 80 buckets per second. That's an absolute crap ton of stuff that it can move. So to upgrade from the basic, you just need to make the basic, put in a enriched alloy with the basic surrounding it. That gets you your 8 advanced. To get the elite, it is the reinforced alloy surrounded by the advanced pressurization tubes to get your elite. And lastly, to get your ultimate, it is the elite around an atomic alloy. I have already taken the liberty of going through all of those steps, so let us get our ultimate pressurized tubes. And what we do from there, we will come back over here and pass our intersection. And we will come back up here. You want to fly today? He's like, no, I don't. So what we're going to do is, because these are facing each other, but the outputs are different. If you notice, we have a red output over here and we have a blue output over here. You want them to be the same. So if we just give one of these a whack on the opposite face, it should flip it around so it's looking the opposite way. Whenever you right click the mechanism machines, it always, the face that you are clicking on is the face that will get spun around to the opposite side. It's not like other machines where you right click it and that face becomes the output or the face that you want facing you. Mechanism is opposite. It always faces away from you when you right click it. So now that we've got the blue on the inside here, let's go ahead and we will run our pipes and see what we get. And as the pipes begin to fill up, we can take a look at the interface of our electrolytic separators, and we can see that it pulled out all of the hydrogen. So the hydrogen right now is the one that is getting pulled out of the top, or out of the middles here, and that's fine. That's what we want. So what we will do is we will run this gas pipe all the way back here, along the back, and then we will run it down and listen to those generators hum. They are starting to fill up with hydrogen, and they are turning on and producing they're holding about 200 RF currently. As far as how much they're producing, let's see here. Max output is 4,000 RF per tick, and they are producing about 2,000 RF per tick. These guys over here right now, they are using 4,000 RF per tick. So, with these guys here, they will put back almost half of what these are using. If we make another 2, so we have 6 and 6, we could do that, and that way, we would be getting half of the power back. But again, we have the reactor downstairs. I am not too worried about it. I am just showing you guys, what you can do in order to, try and supplement the cost of running these electrolytic separators. And remember, these aren't upgraded or anything, so this is just stock. So from here, what we're going to want to do is come back down and find our purification chamber, which is going to be this first one right here. And let's go ahead and we will pop a hole right back here. And from here, we are just going to follow our power line that we have already laid down all the way back here. There we go. Now we're getting close. And that's perfect, because what we're going to want to do is actually do one more, and we will bring it straight over here. And I think I still did that wrong, because nope, this is where we want to be. We want to be right here. Because what we're going to do is we are actually going to run these underground, because these pipes like to interact with each other. So we will pop those out, and because we have those transfer conduits running there, we will come over here, and we will go one more, and we will come up this side here. There we go. So now we can take our pressurized tube and put it where we don't want it. There we go. Pressurized tube, you go down there. There we go. And now if we take a look, we should see that these pressurized tubes are starting to get filled with the oxygen that is being produced. And if we take a look inside of the interface, we can see that both are empty. That means that this tube is getting filled with the oxygen that we're producing. There's our hydrogen getting produced and pumped into the gas chambers. So we will run this over here and do a bit of a shift click to get these pipes running up there. And see, as you can see, you know, they are not connecting because, well, we are decent planners. So we will put that there, and we will put that one there. And just because it's going to be easier, I did actually go one farther back than I wanted to or thought about. So we can just leave this right underground here. Replace this hole right there. Pop that down. And we can run this all the way back to our purification chamber. Hopefully we have enough. That's like just barely, maybe. No, looks like we're gonna have to make up a couple more. One more. We are one shy. Are you kidding me? Well, you know what we're going to do with that then? It's not gonna hurt my feelings none. Just because I really don't want to make up another batch of 8 that we don't necessarily need right now, just for one stinking conduit. I am just going to move this purification chamber back one. Just like that. So now let's go ahead and put our factory block back here. And then we can grab our conduits and there we go. We can pick this conduit up because this conduit is now going to go up and connect with the other ones. And let's get out of vendor mini form because I think the particles is what's causing us to have some problems. We'll pick up our enriching factory. Or not. Looks like we have to break and replace. That's fine. So there's our enriching factory. We'll pick up our crushing factory. There. And lastly, we will pick up our purification factory. And we will put that right there. Now with this, we can just go ahead and pick that cable up, or conduit rather, and just bring this line right over here. Just like that. So everything's back connected. Easy fix. So there we go. Now if we take a look in here, we can see that it is full of oxygen. And if we want to, we can go through and shift click all of these, which will clear them out. And we tell them that the back side is only for the extra. It's the purple input is only for the extra, which means that it's only going to be for the gas. we can set the top is only going to be red for the input, and everything else, which is going to be the blue, is going to be the output. We're going to turn the auto eject on, set the energy. It can accept energy from any side. The gases can't be ejected, but we are going to say that the gas is going to come in from the back. And there we go. That machine is all set up. So now all we have to do is go through and set up the rest of these machines, and we can start processing. But just to take a look here, let's grab a piece of, say, ferrous. And if we pop this in here, we will notice, let's actually turn off the auto eject real quick. We've got one piece of ferrous. We pop that in the purification chamber. It takes it a moment because remember, these machines are not upgraded in any way, shape, or form. We'll get to that here fairly soon. We get 3 nickel clumps. From there, it will go over here to the crushing facility, where we put it in the crushing facility, and we will get 3 dirty nickel, if I remember correctly. Yep. And we can turn on sorting, so that's the nice thing about these factories, is that you have 7 different inputs. So there, you know, before I turned on the auto sort, we were going to have to wait, whereas if the auto sorting would have already been on, which I will show you in the next machine, it will just spread them out and work on all of them at once. So there's the auto sorting on. If I place all 3 of these in here, see how it spread them out for us? And there we go. It is now doing all 3 of them at a time. And voila, we now have our pulverized ferrous metal times 3. How cool is that? Now all we have to do is set up some way of smelting this stuff down, which for now I'm just going to come down here and throw in our alloy smeltery, because that's the only thing that we have currently. There we go, and boom. There is our 3 ferrous ingots. How cool is that? We have the start of triple processing ores. So in between episodes here, guys, I will work on cleaning this up a little bit, and I will think about exactly what I want to do in order to smelt these metals up. I know the ultimate direction that I want to go, but at this point in time, we do not have the infrastructure set up for it. So right now, you know, we can't do much with this until we figure that out. I mean, we could always get a smelting factory from Mechanism, which again does the same exact thing. It'll smelt 7 items at a time, and that probably will be the way that we end up going for starters. We're also going to have to get some ME system in here so that we can hold all of this stuff and make it all look nice and neat. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope it was informative. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below whether you liked the video or not, as well as, you know, any ideas that you have for me that you'd like to see me try and build, or, you know, if something wasn't too clear, you know, leave a comment and I will definitely get back to you. And if I can explain it to you quickly in the comments, I will. Or if enough people ask for it, then, you know, I'll do a tutorial on it with my knowledge of how things work, and, you know, let you guys know. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. See ya.